Hi guys, it's Renaissance Man. I'm going to do a demo today of all the different amp modelers for computers that I have. So last time I did a review of bias effects in GarageBand and compared it to my amp. So here I have Guitar Rig 5, which I got when I bought Native Instruments software, and it has quite a bit more. It's different. As you can see right now, I have the preset for JCM 800. So what's unique about this is you have a lot of choices in terms of how you want to set it up. It doesn't have some of the features of bias effects, like it doesn't have you can't change the tubes or anything, but what's cool is you can do stuff like this where you can go in and you have your amp models like Lee J, you can do boost or not. This doesn't have the boost, and then this is the actual amp model. You have the different settings, like you pick crunchy and you put the boost on, and I'm just taking the default settings right now. So if I just do this, and I have it hooked up to my two Yamaha HS5 monitors, speakers. So the thing about this is you have a lot of options with configurations. So if I go into components right here, so I'm going to my component screen here, we have all the different aspects of it, such as your amp models, categories, and so forth. So we pick one like Hot Solo, which is based on the Soldano. Double click on that. So this is the default. I haven't changed anything. I just took the defaults. So this is Hot Soldano. So this gives you a lot of amp model choices, just like the other two software packages. But the thing I really like about it is it came with Native Instruments. I didn't have to buy anything extra. Like the other packages you got to buy separately. But I had the complete rig for my synthesizers. So that's that model. And then we can try a few other models like Hot Plexi. So Hot Plexi, we just take the defaults here without using any of the presets. You can do things like I sucked at that. So you can change all that, and then you also have different components. Like, so we can go. This is like a tube screamer. We can, we could delete this. Like, we could actually right click. If we want to get rid of this, we can actually delete it. So here we can delete selected, and if we want to add a component, so we can just create your own setup. How you want it. And if you go components here, if you go amps, cabinets, so you have your different cabinets here, your different effects here, amps and cabinets and whatnot. You can pick those. You can also pick your delays. So if we add a psych delay here, we use that. You can use patches. So if we add that, Now, I think I deleted my amp. Do I still have an amp model? If I scroll down here, yeah, I don't have an amp model. So I just added a delay. So if I go components again, I go to amps. Let's do this. Let's add a new amp and a new cabinet to it and set it up. So let's pick Citrix for the amp. So we have this is based on an orange amplifier. And let's pick, it has a matching cabinet. So let's increase the gain and see how it sounds just with the default configuration. That sounds pretty cool. And then we can also add other stuff, like you can pick some of the presets. Right now I'm just on the bass patch, but you can go Fat Crunch, and we just keep the same one. So that's Fat Crunch for the preset. Now the thing I like about this is there's tons of custom patches you can get for free online that GarageBand doesn't have. This is definitely better packaged than GarageBand. It doesn't allow you to record directly like GarageBand does, which is only weak point. Just like it's more of a plugin, just like Bias is, but it has so much cool stuff in it. It's really awesome. I think it's up there with Bias. Now let's look at one of my favorites, which is Ramfire, which is a preset, which is based on Rammstein's model. And let's change the cabinet too. The cabinet needs to be different. So let's get rid of the cabinet. I'm going to add a cabinet. So if I go to products, categories, so you go categories, there's so many choices here. It's insane. So I don't have a cabinet hooked up to it. I just have the amp itself. So I have it on Rammstein's preset, RZK is Crispy, and this is based, I think, on the triple rectifier. So if we pick a different setting, modern, and see how modern sounds. This is one of my favorite amp model presets set up in Guitar Rig. I'm a big Rammstein fan. So that's really intense. That's a really good. And then he even has a vintage one. I just love this preset. It's just really intense. Now that sounds like a fuzz pedal. Now the one problem is it does change things. You got all kinds of stuff on this. A tuner. I mean, I could spend hours going over a review of this. You even have a sequencer. I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff in Guitar Rig that is not present in the other software modelers. So if I go back to products and I have so many choices here. It's not even funny. And so you got reverb, all kinds of crap you can put in here. And so if I just go back to categories, modulation. So the way they categorize it by different effects and amps and models. So you can also do a right click here if you want to add something, add a component. So you can add a component, like if you right click within the main block where the amps and other modules are, you can add stuff. So I'm going to add a cabinet. So if I go cabinets, I do a match cabinet, see what it adds. Yep, so it adds a match cabinet. And then you can just, it picks the amount of dry signal and stuff. So if I, now with the match cabinet, see how it sounds. That's cool. So we can also change dry, put it in the middle, to air. We can pick stereo, learn, all this cool stuff. Ultrasonic. So you can change all kinds of crazy stuff with this package. That sounds a lot better. Before it sounded kind of like it was on overdrive fuzz pedal too much. So now if I pick up one of my favorite riffs, it's not a Rammstein riff, but it's a cool riff I learned. I screwed up. So that's kind of cool. So it's one of my favorite Metallica albums that I've been learning songs from is Kill 'Em All, which was their first album, and I just love the songs in it. I mean, it's like doesn't really sound right though. So let's put something that would sound right for vintage metal. Let's see. Let's pick a different amp. I don't think this is the right amp personally for it. So if we go delete and we delete this, let's add it. The one thing I like about this is how easy it is to use. It's not difficult to use this product. It's simple. It's very user friendly. So we want to add. Let's add an amp to this. Let's see. I'm gonna go. Let's see, I think for this, vintage Metallica, based on what I read, is a Plexi. It's an overdrive Plexi. And so we need a tube screamer. So we're going to add actually they used a distortion. They actually used a distortion pedal with it. And they used, I think, a tube screamer. I think, add a component. Alright, so this is Plexi. Alright, that's cool. Let's see how this sounds just with the defaults. So I have a Plexi and a matching cabinet. Let's put it half and half. Put learn, you just keep the defaults. So this is a Plexi with an overdrive distortion pedal. See how she sounds. Yeah, not so great. That doesn't really sound right. But let's see. Let's change the settings. Let's see, the mids are too high. Mids. See how it sounds now. I'm kind of trying to use a scooped approach. That doesn't sound right either. So I think let's try cool Plexi. Let's go full lead. Kind of disappointed. I think we need to use get rid of the mids again. I'm just trying to find out. I think the distortion doesn't sound right with this. So I'm going to get rid of the distortion pedal. I'm going to add a boost pedal. Noise reduction. Add a boost pedal. I'm gonna add a screamer. So the thing is, so the way this works is a screamer is like the tube screamer. So yeah, so let's see how it sounds now. That's too loud. Turn my volume down. Okay, so I'm going to change the settings on this. So my just adjust it. So I bought this new TV. I needed a new TV, and this thing's great for a monitor as well for my computer stuff. It works really good. It's a really good monitor as well. I mean, it's perfect having a 48-inch screen for stuff like this. So I'm going to change the screamer. I'm going to use just like a knit. I'm going to put everything at 12 o'clock. Because that works well for my settings on my... And increase that. So that looks good. I'm going to set this just to a knit. Alright, so here we go. Let's see how this sounds. Better, but too low in volume. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think Plexi is a good model for old Metallica on this, even though I heard Metallica used the Plexi or JMP Marshall with a Proco Rat for their first album. So let's try something different. I'm going to try a different, I'm going to keep the tube screamer, but I'm going to add a different amp. I'm going to go with a Elite 800, see how that works. And I'm going to use a boost. And I'm going to dial my settings. Okay, so I have a JCM type 800 amp now on this. I'm going to use for my settings for this. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to use that. Yeah, so I need to do some tweaking with that. But the thing I really like about this is just so many options here. And since I play synthesizers, I like having, I don't have to buy any extra stuff. So now if I try something different, let's just do like Van 51. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to do a high gain. Bright. So you also learn about gear. I mean, this product as well. So if I do. Yeah, so it's like, it's too fuzzy. So let's see if I can clean this up a bit. That's the biggest challenge. This is like an amp. Yeah, it doesn't sound good either. So cut back the gain and the bass, I think. I'm on the lead channel. There we go, so that's good. So now let's see how it sounds. Oh, a lot clearer. much better. So if I go. Then you get that riff right. My teacher has me learn sequences to improve my playing. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So we get that going on. So if we go, we just go to some other stuff, like we can go through here. So we go through here, stuff like that, and go through this part, and we actually put a different amp in. So if I go add a component again, and let's see what kind of amp do I want to put. We just pick something different, you know. Let's see, ultrasonic. I haven't used that yet. We'll pick a what do I pick for that? Let's go heavy. See, heavy. That's kind of cool. They actually set this for you. So let's see how that sounds. This is called ultrasonic. I haven't used this yet, so I don't know. Wow. Turn the volume down a bit. So that's kind of interesting. That's kind of... So that's a pretty high output amp. And we put on clean. We change this to crunch and just clean this up a bit. We don't need to have it high gain for doing solos. Just a little boost. It really does clean it up. Also change the screamer. We just put it on just like I don't know, like that bridge harmonics. Maybe it does something like. So you get your harmonics. So harmonics, I noticed on certain frets, 12th fret and 19th fret, and then you get. That's a cool amp setting. You can also do other stuff. You got just so many things here. Like you can also go to presets, like which I like if I have a certain type of music I want to play. So like here, you can get these online, which is cool. Presets online. There's tons of them. So like this one is a Whole Lot of Love. So you can go. Wow, that's pretty heavy duty. Turn the volume down a bit. cool. So that's based on it's got reverb. If you scroll down, you can see the reverb. So it's got the reverb set up. You can, if I want to get rid of this, don't want the reverb. So you got all the different, there's a ton of stuff on this. So that's it. I don't think I need reverb. I mean, there's just like so many things on this package. I'm still learning. I've had this for a while, but you can also have a loop machine. So, want to record a loop? So if I play it back, let's see. Isn't that cool? So that's kind of nice because you don't have to, it has a looper, and I'm sure the other ones, I didn't really see that as obvious, but I think this is really nice for practice. It has an echo, so echo is here, you can get rid of that if you want to use it. And then, you know, you just have a lot of options here. So if I go like songs, metal, and I just decided, you know, let's see, Puppet Master, it actually comes with the presets for that. So if I do, so it's got all your loop machine, all that stuff, equalizer. See, this is kind of cool. You can actually change this too. The equalizer for EQ. And you can change this stuff too, like the, all this stuff is just really awesome. I'm still learning it. So now if I go, so this shows your scoop mids. So now this is called Puppet Master preset. So if I, let's see if I can try to play the intro and Master of Puppets without screwing up too bad. Turns down. This is really cool. Yeah, it sounds just like the amp. Ah, screwed up. So that's actually a really good amp model, because you get for metal, I think. And then another cool one you got, like, so you can download these too from online, which is really cool. So if I go classic rock, Crazy Randy. So this is Crazy Randy. So you can see it's got the scooped amps. I'll these settings. So it's got all the like the amp stuff. This is really awesome. Going back here, yeah, I need to dig into this deeper. So now, if I can try to play Crazy Train, I've been drinking wine tonight, so I might not be able to. Screwed up. Yeah, sounds pretty good. There's just so many cool things you can do. And so you got, let's see, Eddie's Rhythm. Not that I care. I don't know. So it uses a GMP amp. And the thing is, like, for me to buy all this hardware would cost me, like, I don't know, I think like over $100,000. Like, to buy all this just to try out. So it's just on a budget. This is a cheap way to go. Cool. So that's actually kind of cool. That's Van Halen, but I suck at playing Van Halen. It's challenging, I guess, for beginners, even until you're advanced. And let's see if I go metal. Let's see if I go. Pull my theater. I don't know how to. This is a lot of stuff. You got to be pretty advanced to play a lot of shit. I just do like Slipknot, which I think is supposed to be based on Slipknot, Ultrasonic. So what's that? Yeah, Ultrasonic. So let's see, Slipknot. So it sounds a lot like a rectifier amp. And then of course, Pull My Theater, I think it's based on Dream Theater, and it uses what's the amp model? Is it amp model? There's a bunch of stuff, delay and stuff. I don't see that what amp model it's using. But anyways, we'll see how it sounds. Turn up a little bit. Interesting. And another preset we can pick is Cornell. That uses something called Gratifier amp, I think it is. In a scoop EQ. So turn this down a bit, it's pretty loud. Preset. Wow, that's a hot preset. I like that. For downtune stuff would be awesome. Wow, that's pretty incredible. And then the new tune that uses a different setup, I guess. Sledgehammer is the amp model. Wow, that's great. Wow, pinch harmonics are a piece of cake on this. Wow, I like the software. This is really good. It has a lot of advantages over the others. I think the selection of amp models is really what the redeeming quality of this guitar rig software, and especially if you have synthesizers, it comes with it if you buy the complete ultimate package, which the others doesn't have. Like, you gotta buy, the thing that annoys me about, I'm trying to demo bias effects, the thing that annoys me about that is you gotta buy each module separate, and so they don't have a package deal, which kind of sucks in my opinion, and as opposed to you know, some stuff that's more included, like this comes with everything, which is really cool. And I think learning purposes, like you can learn what different pedals, amps, and cabinets do. I mean, it's not the same thing as a real thing, but it's technology's come a long ways, you know. So the Space Lander is cool. Well, that's really cool. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, this is really good. I think some things I like to bias better, but I think just like the amount of stuff you can do with this is just amazing. So anyways, there's still a lot I haven't done with it because I have an amp, so I don't really need, like during the day, what I do is I'll play my tube amp, and at night, I play my software amps, or my practice amp, because I don't want to upset my neighbors. And this seems to work pretty well. I'm living in an apartment, but I couldn't see spending, you know, $50,000 on amps. It's just too expensive. So I also have something called Gil Pack, which is cool. There's a, you know, you can do amp models for like different bands and stuff. So this is one. This one's cool. This is from like Run Like Hell. I don't know which one. That sounds pretty rad. So there's all these presets online you can download. And then like I think Clapton, I use this one. A bunch of stuff, bunch of settings. So you can do like, I think this is like, I fucked up. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah, so you got a lot. This simulates his jump, his Marshall amp, and his effects. Wow, this is pretty amazing. I like this amp combo. So yeah, I could see if you had a laptop and an audio interface, like I have a Babyface RME audio interface. I could see if you had a laptop and an audio interface and in a guitar, you could use this for a whole show easy. Because you could just have the laptop with the audio interface and have the cable, and then have that audio interface hooked up to the PA system, and you're ready to go for almost any type of guitar song you could think about. So, you know, you got like different things like, Deep Purple. So there's also the standard defaults they come with too as well. Like, I think this is Deep Purple. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. Boosted solo metal. I like this. If I want a lot, I want to slow down. Is a great amp. Too bad they stopped making them. Wow, that sounds good. That sounds amazing. And, you know, it was cool. It shows you the amp settings too, like boosted. And so you can kind of get a picture, and you can go back and try these settings if you have a tube amp and see how they work. Like, it has the mids cut and the bass at noon and the treble high. So it gives you an idea to experiment with your real amp if you have a real amp. So I'd probably say this is my favorite. This amp model is probably my favorite. The Soldano, and then probably the it's called the Gratifier, So if we go to amps, I would say my favorite amps. Like if we go to guitar amps, I would probably say, so these are the choices. You don't have as many as the bass amp models. I think you get way more with bias, which I think is the advantage of bias. You get more amp choices, but I like the interface better on this in some ways than on the bias interface. And you got to buy separate packages. So you have, you know, I think maybe like 20 amp models here, and then you got the different settings. So you know, it's kind of cool in that sense. You got all the different effects here and styles of music. So if you're playing like metal, you know, you can go auto rhythm or whatever. I haven't done that, and that uses the Plexi, I guess. So, you know, if you're gonna do any kind of, I haven't tried this one yet, so this is kind of a new one for me. My camera was getting away from me there for a sec. So this one's interesting. So anyways, I like this product. I think though, I like bias better overall, just because of the stuff you can do with the options for changing tubes and things like that, which is really cool. And you get more amp models, and the interface for pedals is cool. I think GarageBand is great if you have a Mac, because it comes free and it's got a interface for recording directly and creating songs and adding other instruments. So of the three, I still, compared to tube amps, I still like tube amps better, but for traveling and late night practice, this is great having these options now. I'm on the list for a Fractal FM3 because I want to use that for open mic instead of a laptop or an amp. So we'll see how that goes once I get on the wait list for that. And hope you enjoy this. Thanks.